We go along, get ready for Nebraska and for Stanford. And when you think about Nebraska, you think about the man who is coaching the team at such a high level for so long. We will talk to John Cook when we come back. And he'll be standing next to Mary Wise and Emily Eman. The three of them had a lot of wins in their volleyball days. Yes, you too, Emily. We're coming right back.
If you walked in my shoes, if you don't know how I do.
Back here in Lincoln, Nebraska, a little over 15 minutes. The countdown to first serve for Stanford and Nebraska continues. A thriller in match number one. Florida fought off a match point and knocked off Pittsburgh in 5 sets. We've talked about the stars, the young stars in this game, and it's all about the players, but the coaches are the ones who put the players in the position to win. And we have seen at Florida and in Nebraska, two coaches there for so long who did such a great job. Mary Wise has been on the set with us, and of course, John Cook, who for 25 years built a program here, built upon a program here, and built it up to new heights. And who better than a coaching legend to take you through in a little essay about these two great coaches.
The game has gone to new levels, bigger and brighter stages, and into more homes and hearts. This vision became reality thanks in large part to a pair of coaches who were there from the start, Mary Wise and John Cook. The first Division I NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship was in 1981. Wise became a head coach that year, and Cook a little over a decade later. They taught, mentored, and shaped young lives for a combined 66 years. They each made 2024 their last at the helm of their teams. Yes, the numbers are staggering. Wise has 1,068 career wins. She led the Gators to the NCAA tournament in all 34 of her seasons at Florida, which included 13 undefeated SEC campaigns and 12 SEC titles.
Mary Wise, who would be on the Mount Rushmore of volleyball coaches.
Cook guided the Nebraska Cornhuskers to 17 conference titles, 12 NCAA semifinal appearances, and 4 national championships.
John Cook, it's always incredible what he can do with his teams.
The true value of these leaders can't be measured by numbers, trophies, or charts. It's there in the smiles and tears, in the collective sighs and cheers, in the wisdom imparted and passed, shared, with the players who passed through their programs and were forever changed. And so as we marvel at the magnitude of the modern game, we appreciate two of its most admired and beloved pioneers who helped pave the way, Mary Wise and John Cook.
And here they are together, 1,951 victories combined. First of all, congratulations on your retirement. I know you're not the retiring type. We thought you were going to ride off into the sunset literally, John, on one of your horses.
I tried.
But when you guys take a look down memory lane there, what are the, outside of the hairstyles and the clothing choices, what are the first things that rush through your mind?
Mary, go ahead.
Oh, I just see, the clips of those players that we were blessed enough to coach and see them when they were in college, and now maybe the last time I saw them, she's a mom and in this career, and watching them grow is one of the greatest gifts that we get as a college coach.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't know, it makes me miss coaching now, watching all that.
I know, right?
So many great memories and so many great matches, especially against Florida and Nebraska, and I don't know, I got chills right now, so it's pretty awesome.
Talking about some of those moments, was there one moment for both of you when you look back on your career that said that's the one?
Against each other?
Or no, just in general.
You can start there if you'd like.
Yeah, the one for me was when I was coaching at the start at Wisconsin, and we started from nothing, and then we played Penn State, who was ranked #1 on Halloween night in Madison. You know how crazy that is. And we beat them in 4, and I thought, that was like, just validated everything we were doing, and it kind of was a breakthrough for me.
I can't answer that without thinking about the 2017 NCAA semifinal against Stanford. And they had a team that could have won 4 NCAA championships. We were lucky enough to beat Catherine Plummer. Unfortunately, that was the semifinals because we had to face this guy's team in the finals in Kansas City.
That was one of the greatest matches ever. That's
Really
your
was.
match against Stanford. So
As you two step away from this part of volleyball, you're still obviously both connected with the sport. And where is the sport right now? How healthy, how vibrant is volleyball now that you step away from this part of it?
All you have to do is look around. I mean, the ABCA wanted to go big time, you go big red. I mean, this environment is just starting the 2025 season with all these great players, and we're going to be able, we get the advantage of being able, you all telling their stories all season.
yeah, I'm reflecting back to the stadium match, and it seems like volleyball since that stadium match has just exploded, and it's like, what's going to be the next big event? Well, we're here. This is unbelievable, and I've been downtown Lincoln for 3 days now. The excitement, the amount of people that have come in and out of town just to watch volleyball. I mean, this is like a Super Bowl, Final Four, NBA championship. Right. It's incredible.
Well, I think you two had a little something to do with it getting there, so thank you. And we know it's players first for both of you, and we've enjoyed it here so far, and we look forward to match number 2. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
All right. So John now hands it off to someone who's very capable to take Nebraska forward and continue what he's left off. Danny Busboom Kelly, a Nebraska native who was an outstanding player for Nebraska, had success at Louisville, and is now the head coach here in Nebraska.
I was at the celebration in '95. I was at the celebration in 2000, just hoping one day I would get a chance to be up here. And we ended better than any other team in the past. Had 17,000 fans, and it was unreal.
She was the first girl I ever saw that could do a fadeaway jump shot. And I'm thinking, wow, this is an athlete.
Clark out there, tons of energy. Busboom gets her second termination.
Well, she's going to rip through fingers pretty hard right there.
In 2005, she was a setter in the 6-2 system, and we lost to Washington. I knew we had to make a change and go back to a 5-1, and I brought her in the office, and I said, Danny, we're going to move you to libero. I didn't see her for 3 days. I finally called her mom on the 3rd day, and I said, Bonnie, had a bad meeting with Danny. She wasn't happy. I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her. She goes, she'll be in your office later today. So I'm thinking she's coming in to quit. She comes in with a letter. And this letter talked about she was going to do everything possible to help that team, whatever role that she was asked to do, she would do it.
Waller again sliding behind. What a get by Busboom to keep it up.
And she was a great leader, and that's when I knew she would be a great coach.
When I'm done here, I don't want to just leave Nebraska volleyball forever. I always want to be a part of it somehow.
Only in Nebraska will the retirement of a volleyball coach be cataclysmic news.
News that has shocked the entire volleyball world.
Nebraska's already announced Cook's successor.
That time has now come, and the future is Danny Busboom Kelly.
She's done one of the greatest turnarounds in the history of college volleyball. 8 years, she's been to 3 Final Fours, played for 2 national championships. The fact that she coached here.
Off the rocket arm! They did it! Nebraska national champions!
The fact that she played here.
It's over! A slice of Husker heaven in Omaha!
She bleeds Husker.
And Danny Busboom Kelly on the bench here. 15,000 a sellout in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska, not too far from Portland, Nebraska. She grew up, and John went through the path. She was libero. She was a setter. They needed a libero. She became the captain. She was a national champion. And he pointed out, she built quite the program at Louisville. We all know about that, and she is situated to have a national championship contender in her first year in Nebraska.
Danny Busboom Kelly is walking into the best possible situation with a team that has all the pieces for a Final Four, even national championship caliber program. They have incredible seniors on this group, but also a lot of young players. 7 of their 9 players that get good playing time have at least 1 year left. So she's walking into a great future of the program as well.
Yes, she is. But, you know, to do anything for the first time at Nebraska, especially in Lincoln, would be really hard. But Danny did just Friday night. She was the first Nebraska coach to win in this arena.
And you can just tell how excited her new players were to get that win for her here in this atmosphere. Of course, she's kind of like, we just talked to John retires, you retire, so there's all sorts of coaching movement as we get into this first full week of the season of volleyball with Danny left Louisville. That opened the door for Dan Meske, her trusted associate head coach, to take over the Louisville program. Ryan Tice, who left Marquette after great success, just picked up his first win for Florida. Matt Ulmer was here yesterday with his Kansas team. They won in 5 sets against Vanderbilt. Ryan Rosen also here, who's over a chair and becoming the Creighton head coach. But year after year, we're talking about player movement. Kennedy Martin, one of the big movers, going from Florida to the defending national champion Penn State. Tori Stafford from Pittsburgh over to Texas. Eva Hudson going from Purdue to Kentucky. Mimi Collier going from Oregon out to Wisconsin. And Kaylin Alexander making the long trip from Hawaii to Como to Missouri. It's always been hard these last few years to keep track of all the player movement, but that is one way for most teams to keep that high level of competitiveness.
It's really fun this year, especially because as a lot of those COVID fifth years have graduated, we're seeing so many new faces to NCAA volleyball. On the coaching front, obviously legendary coaches like yourself leaving, but a lot of transfers as well, coming from school to school, a lot of new freshmen coming in and underclassmen that are really going to shine, that I think is going to make this year one of the most fun NCAA volleyball seasons because of that youth.
Absolutely, the transfers was like a who's who in women's volleyball, and one player in our sport can make such a huge difference. Watch how all these teams are impacted.
It's going to be so impressive to watch those specific programs really elevate their level of play. For example, Penn State, you add a player like Kennedy Martin, they're automatically a national title contender. I know that one maybe hurts a little bit, but hey, it's really exciting for some of these programs to get a program-changing player to come right in.
All right, you ready for another one here? We just had a 5-setter. You want a little Stanford, Nebraska here?
Give me more volleyball, come on.
It was a great one in match number 1, our first match of the season here on ESPN. We've got plenty to come next Sunday. Broadway block party. You'll see Nebraska and that new look Kentucky team. Give me a little sneak peek. Which you like best on this list here, Emily?
Yeah, I think a lot of these are going to be really fun. That Pitt Kentucky match Wednesday, September 10th is going to be really exciting again on ESPN. When you look at this graphic, so many matches on ESPN, ABC, we're seeing so much growth of the sport with matches early on, and that's important.
Absolutely, and everybody next weekend. So these are just a handful of them. This is what women's volleyball in 2025 is all about.
All right, we got about a minute left here. Stanford, Nebraska. Give me your game keys for this match coming up right now.
The biggest thing for Nebraska is keeping their middles involved. When a player like Andy Jackson is involved in the play, she can absolutely take over. Stanford has to find a way to neutralize Nebraska's middle attack.
I think Stanford has always been a low air team. They're not going to air themselves out. Can Nebraska do the same in this environment? And you think they will. We all think they will because of their veterans.
We'll see how Stanford handles this environment because it is a little bit different in Nebraska. You can hear it. You can get a sense of it. And we're just about ready for match number 2. We'll be with you between sets 2 and 3. By the way, awesome job on day 1.
Oh, thank you.
Very wonderful. Perfect. Stick around.
This is easier. No offense.
Less pressure. Less pressure.
A little easier up here, we know. All right, so we'll be with you between sets 2 and 3, but now it's time to turn things over to Courtney, to Katie, to Holly, and to Madison. Are you ready? Because it is loud, and they are ready to go here in Lincoln. Courtney, take it away.
Eric, we are so ready, and in the last 30 minutes since the end of the Florida Pitt match, fans have filled in the stands, over 15,000 people inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. Remember, they don't normally play volleyball here at Nebraska. It's over at the Devaney Center, but this is the second time ever, the first being on Friday, and the Nebraska fans have shown up. There's a saying here, there's no place like Nebraska, and you're about to see that environment. So will these two teams. We're about to see the #1 team in the nation and the #6 team in the nation. Courtney Lau alongside Olympic bronze medalist Holly McPeak, former ACC Player of the Year Katie George, Madison Fitzpatrick on the sidelines for us. And are you ready to see the #1 team?
Yes, we're ready, and they look like it on Friday night. Return a ton of veterans. Obviously, Danny Buscombe-Kelly returns to Nebraska to take over her alma mater. She gets her first win as head coach. She can breathe a little bit easier.
On the other side of the net, Stanford is so young. 3 freshmen in the lineup. So they haven't been this young since probably 2016. So it's going to be fun to see them compete on this stage.
One of those freshmen, Holly, is Logan Parks. And my goodness, wait until you see her play. She's what we call a unicorn at this level. You're going to see her set from the back row for 3 rotations and then attack from the right side when she's in the front row. It's a lot of responsibility for a newcomer, but Parks is physical, athletic, and has the volleyball IQ necessary to do both for the Cardinal.
It's hard to stand out on a team full of stars, but Harper Murray does just that. She is a weapon on every part of the floor. Her defense, her offense, she's playing freer and with more confidence than ever, and she has Nebraska at the top of the rankings.
And listening to her talk, I mean, she has become a leader. And Madison, it was interesting to see the transition with Danny taking over because Harper was so close to John Cook.
Exactly, and because Harper was so close to John Cook, Coach Danny Busboom Kelly was wondering how she would be received as a new coach, but she said from day one, Harper Murray has been in her office, constantly making her feel welcome, and she's been kind of the connector between the coach and the rest of the team. And when I asked Harper Murray about her yesterday, Harper Murray said, well, she's a perfect fit because 1, it was an easy transition, 2, she's lovable and warm, and 3, she has experienced all of the things they have as female athletes at Nebraska.
I think when it was announced that Danny Busboom Kelly would take over as the Nebraska head coach, the volleyball world said, well done.
Exactly. Kevin Hamley, he said, I think it was no surprise to anyone in the volleyball community because it just made sense. And it's great to see Danny Busboom Kelly at the helm of her alma mater where she won a national championship as a player and assistant coach.
Can we talk about this environment?
Wow, countdown is on. It's Stanford, it's Nebraska, it's go time. Harper Murray trying to track that down. It hits into the end, so it'll be a point for Stanford.
All these athletes had to wait a little longer after that 5-set match to get out here, so a little bit of nerves early.
Elia Rubin, who is an All-American in her own right, serving for Stanford, and it goes long. And talking about the Stanford program, they have won more national championships than any other program. 9 national titles, the last one coming in 2019, and Kevin Hambley in his 9th season leading the Cardinal. Lots of youth, but lots of excitement around Stanford.
Stanford is young, dynamic, and Kevin Hambley likes the way that these young athletes compete.
You have when Andy Jackson is your middle blocker and attacker for Nebraska. She garners so much respect. Both Stanford blockers were keying in on her, which allowed Harper Murray to go up and get a one-on-none situation. Great set by Bergen Riley.
For this Nebraska program, they have won 5 national championships and ended their season last year in the semifinal, lost in 5 sets to the eventual champion Penn State, but a Nebraska program who is hungry. They have come up short the last 2 seasons.
Danny Busboom Kelly has stepped in and made some changes. They're speeding up the offense, pushing players to do more in their game, and that's one of the things that makes Danny Busboom Kelly a special coach. She sees the potential in all these athletes.
You cannot ignore her in the middle.
She's so dynamic, higher and stronger than she's ever been. She was almost unstoppable last year on that slide. Look at her elevate and then the quick arm through the seam of the block. Beautiful kill on the quick set.
She says she wants to be known as more than just a slide queen, but my goodness, when you hit the ball like that, it's not a bad title now.
Yeah, no, it's not. And Bergen Riley, their setter, will get the kill. Nebraska, they have, Danny opened everything up. Every position was up for grabs, and so Bergen Riley, who has been a captain, is a captain once again, who has been a leader, was in a battle with the true freshman Campbell Flynn, but Bergen Riley gets that starting nod. I don't think it's a surprise.
No, Bergen Riley's been the setter of the year the last couple years, and Campbell Flynn pushed her, and together they worked to both improve their games, and I think that just makes Nebraska a stronger team.
What makes Bergen Riley a good setter?
Well, first, I think her location, generally speaking, is always on point. she's so consistent, and you know what to expect from her every single time she steps on the court. I did think it was interesting, though, when we got to visit with Danny Busby-Kelly. She went back and she watched Nebraska in the national championship 2 years ago, and then she watched them last year against Penn State in the match you referenced in the national semifinal. And she said, I want Bergen to play really free. I think she got tentative, and then the tempo slowed down a bit, and our middles are our biggest weapon, so we want to continue to push that. But I thought it was interesting that she highlighted Bergen. She wants Bergen to play fearless out there on the court.
Logan Parks going backside to Jordan Harvey. Andy Jackson behind the setter.
Transition offense starts with the dig from Harper Murray, and then Andy Jackson, so lethal off 1 foot.
But I love it. It's a back row attack. We're used to seeing her go on the slide in the front row, and this is something that they're adding to her game.
That's a new wrinkle that Danny Busby-Kelly is expanding in Andy Jackson's game. I love it.
Taylor Landfair got underneath that with a pancake. Logan Parks will go to Elia Rubin on the outside. Harper Murray out of the back row, so they can use Andy Jackson and Murray out of the back row right now. Instead, they'll just have their center take a swing.
Stanford a little out of sorts. They need to calm down and start focusing on the contact and the quality of the contact.
Jordan Harvey off hands. Andy Jackson diving. Lizzie Andrew in the middle, stopped by Alec. They'll run Rebecca Alec on the slide. It's a 4-0 Nebraska run.
Nebraska can hurt you in so many different ways. Sometimes you can kind of lean away from one of the hitters, but not against Nebraska. Every hitter can terminate at a high level.
4-0 run with Andy Jackson behind the service line. Elia Rubin bringing the heat, and Stanford ends that run. While Nebraska has a veteran at the setting position, Stanford working with a new system. We talked about it. We've seen Logan Parks getting that setting duties right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting that Kevin Hambley has relied and leaned on a true freshman to play essentially 2 different positions on the court. So you'll see Logan Parks, who just made that first contact dig there, set 3 rotations out of the back court. And then when she rotates to the front court, she's going to attack from the right side. No touch there on Becca Alec's attack. But it shows a lot of responsibility and trust in a true freshman. She's physical, she's athletic. And then you'll see Taylor Yu, the other setter in this 6-2 system. She'll check into the game and set the backcourt as well when Logan Parks is in the front row attacking.
Lizzie Andrew drops in the ace.
Lizzie Andrew is stronger this year, more confident. She got thrown into the fire, and this is one of her weapons. Talk about high contact point, nice and flat, catches the deep back line.
And we have our Bolt 6 technology allowing us to show in-out here at the ABCA First Serve event. Harper Murray finds some open court on the back row. This event started on Friday. Day 3 now.
Watch the back row quick to Harper Murray, who is so dynamic, pops off the floor quickly and battles it down the middle.
Jordan Harvey dug by Riley. Taylor Landfair. Elia Rubin is there. She'll get the swing. Roll shot. Bergen Riley, the one-arm save. Free ball back to Stanford. And they finish it in the middle with Rebecca Alec.
Great defense. Bergen Riley with a one-handed dig to keep this rally going.
Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena. Nebraska up 10-7. Well, Nebraska's Rebecca Alex said at Big Ten Media Days, you can go fast alone, but you can go farther together. And that perfectly aligns with the Cornhuskers' mission this season. Danny Busboom-Kelly told me their theme is a banner, not a name. She sat her team down and said, look, you could all be All-Americans, but that's not what it's about this season. It's about hanging a banner on the wall in Bob Cavani Center at the end of the season. The depth and the team goals of this program outweighs individual success, and I just love that.
Take that approach too at Louisville, and this is the success she had there.
Definitely, and I think it's really going to bear well for this Nebraska team. There's so many superstars, you cannot get the same numbers as a team because of the balance.
You know, when she was at Louisville, she said, we ran a 6-2 last season, and I sat my team down then and said, look, by running a 6-2, some of your all stats are not going to be great. Some of your attempts aren't going to be as high as it would be in a 5-1, but that's the best system for our team if we want to make it to a national championship, which they did. I love that overall team approach that she takes, and she had a similar conversation with Nebraska.
Yeah, took Louisville to the national championship match 2 times in 2022 and last season, and now back leading her alma mater. There's Taylor Landfair, who transferred in before last season from Minnesota. Taylor Yu in that 6'2", she is now the setter for Stanford, number 30 in the black jersey.
Elia Rubin talking to her setter Taylor Yu, saying speed it up. You can see that Elia Rubin's in the second step of her approach, and then she has to slow down, decelerate, and only as a roll shot. They've had that consistently happen so far in the first set.
But you have to like what you've seen from Nebraska and Bergen Riley, pushing and forcing the middle, Holly, because that was something we were missing in the first match between Florida and Pittsburgh. We were hoping that the setters would go to their middles and push them a little bit more. You're seeing that from Bergen Riley here early.
I also think it helps that Nebraska is passing the ball really well, and Bergen Riley is in system. That allows her to set the middle all the time.
Well, I don't think with Danny as your head coach, I don't know if you have an option but to go to the middle when you can. She has always forced that, wants to go to the middle as much as possible. They naturally hit for a higher hitting percentage.
Harper Murray does such a nice job disguising that. She comes in, looks like she's going to crush it, and then nice hand contact, top spins that ball right to the middle of the court.
In listening to Harper Murray talk, I mean, there's a maturity about her in her junior season, and especially now being an upperclassman, she has to be one of the leaders. Erica Sayer out of the middle. That's a true freshman middle.
Kevin Hamley loves the way Erica Sayer competes, and she is unafraid. She's playing the best team in the country on this incredible stage. She goes up and takes a big rip for the kill.
Spencer Etzler, a true freshman libero. I mentioned they have freshmen in key positions: libero, middle, setter.
And Taylor Yu was a redshirt last year, so here she is in her first year on the court.
Mark Kurt wanted the swing. Talking about the youth, the numbers back that up. It was impressive to look and see career sets played. Just 82 sets among the setters on the Stanford roster. And that's so important, the setter like the quarterback on the floor.
Thank you for noticing, Holly. Or Courtney, I appreciate that. Holly and I were both.
I know, I gotta sit next to 2 of you. Terea Siegler got the swing, a true freshman on the Nebraska side, number 11.
I've been watching Terea Siegler. She is a complete 6 rotation left side, and she's been impressive early. Carries herself like a veteran, unafraid of the big stage with a bunch of stars surrounding her on the court.
Nebraska's depth is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, because their backups could all be starters across the country.
Yes. They might be able to field a second team.
Possibly 3. Not good.
What did you like most when you saw them Friday against Pitt? What did you like most about Nebraska?
I mean, they just have so many weapons. They can slow you down. Defensively, they're really dangerous. I mean, they were able to really slow down Olivia Babcock, one of the best hitters in the country, but they can hit you on both sides of the ball.
I also thought it was interesting seeing who they were going to play on the right side. We know that opposite pin position is so important, and it's becoming bigger and bigger with every year we play as Harper Murray gets another massive swing out of the backboard. But that was an unknown. There's so many knowns when you look at this Nebraska team because they're so experienced. Like a Harper Murray hitting out of the backboard here off this big. She's so lethal. Great job getting it back to zone 1. But I was curious to see who they were going to play on the right. We saw Virginia Adriano as well as Ali Check. And both of them, I thought, did a really nice job filling in for Merritt Beeson, who held that position for 2 seasons.
Beeson was a leader and a mainstay for Nebraska over her 2 seasons, graduated last year. I mean, Nebraska is just cruising out to a .524 hitting percentage to start this match. They're on a 5-1 run. Parker on the left side is stuffed. And Nebraska the first to 20 with a large lead, 20-11. Playing to 25.
I think the nerves for Stanford right now affecting the tempo of the offense, and that's why they're just sputtering offensively.
We've seen a lot of tips and a lot of roll shots from some of these hitters, so I'd like to see that connection improve with both setters moving forward.
I want to remind you the 57th U.S. Open continues tomorrow on ESPN with 12 more hours of first-round coverage starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. ESPN2 coverage begins at 7 Eastern. As always, you can also watch every point streaming live on the all-new ESPN app and ESPN Deportes starting at 11 a.m. Eastern. Well, Danny Busboom Kelly is wearing a mic for us. Let's take you inside the Nebraska huddle.
Give them confidence. Stay on it.
And as soon as I say that, I jinx it.
Our timing's been impeccable with the mic.
It's really good.
Coach Mike's today.
Well, Nebraska hitting .545. They picked up a win over Pitt on Friday for their first win of the season. It was also the 1,500th win in program history. No other program has reached that milestone. The Stanford program was able to take down Florida on Friday, but right now hitting under 100.
Their tempo's just been off, and you know, the hitters are in a second step of their approach, and they're slowing down, and that's the thing with the setters. They need to put that tempo on the ball so their hitters have a chance against this dynamic defense on the other side.
Madison, what were they talking about in the Stanford huddle?
Well, you guys nailed it. It was all about the tempo. Coach Kevin Hamley said, speed up that tempo. Let's be aggressive.
They'll have to quickly make that adjustment. Nebraska just needs 5 more points to win the opening set. Jordan Harvey swinging on the left pin in this rotation, and she runs into the Nebraska block.
There's a difference between speeding up the tempo and shooting it too low, and a difference between speeding up the tempo but keeping the trajectory of the ball high enough. You still want to be able to push the ball fast, but allow your hitters to go up and hit it at a high contact point.
Elliot Rubin just sends it back over. Bergen Riley goes to Harper Murray. And Parker did a nice job of making something out of that.
E. Parker got her feet to the ball, went up, battled, wiped it off the hand. Really talented play, and she learned and that she had to expand her toolbox last season, and really by the end of the season, she was a complete player.
Seeing her get the start in that other outside hitter position today. We saw Julia Blapshaw get the start for Stanford there on Friday, but it wasn't efficient. This is the rotation where Nebraska built momentum earlier in this set with Andy Jackson behind the service line.
Seconds just waiting on that ball. Danny Busboom Kelly loves it. Teammates laughing about it.
She got her head coach standing up clapping for that one. Ooh, grazing the tape and over. That's good to play. Rubin readjusting. And just powers a shot at Harper Murray.
Even though it was an out-of-system set, it was high enough that Elia Rubin could get her feet there and make something happen. She takes a big rip, able to get the kill.
Hard ball to track as high as it was. Love the aggressiveness from Rubin.
She is a first-team All-American, a two-time All-American, and has been a leader, a vocal leader since day one. But that service error means it is set point Nebraska.
And at this point, right now, Stanford has 5 hitting errors as well as 5 service errors. That's 10 points. That's a difference in this first set.
Tough connection to Elia Rubin. Allie Check finds the middle of the floor, and Nebraska dominates the opening set.
A lot of young players playing on a huge stage. I think they learned a lot in that first set and will respond better.
Nebraska looking like the #1 team in the nation. They hit a cool 5-20 to win the first set, 25-13.
I got the chemistry that puts you in the mood. You be dancing if you walked in my shoes. If you don't know how.
All Nebraska in the first set, 25-13. They hit over 500. They had 3 players with 3 or more kills. And to show you the balance, our friends at Bolt 6 have the numbers to back it up from that first set.
I just think this is incredible to look at the options that Bergen Riley has across the net, right? So she's going 40% of the time to the opposite, 33% in the middle, which you absolutely love to see. I'm sure Danny Busman-Kelly wants that number up a little bit more. And then to the outside, 27% as well.
Now, those two are flips. The opposite should be on the right side, of course, but you're just seeing all the weapons that Bergen Riley has to work with, and she's using them.
Nebraska sided out at 78%. That's a blistering number. And they were able to hold Stanford to 41% inside out. I think Stanford will probably settle in a little bit more. Hopefully we'll see more of a rhythm offensively to give themselves a chance in this match. Kevin Hambley having an extra word with both setters, trying to get them on task.
The great thing about volleyball, new set, you flush that, totally different ball game right now. You start over. Madison, what did you hear on the Stanford side?
Elia Rubin, the vocal leader, chimed in first, and she said, don't back off. Nebraska's not going to give us anything. We got to put our foot on the gas pedal. And then Kevin Hambley said, we're having good opportunities, but we need to do better with those opportunities. So then he took the setters aside. They're going to work on tempo. We talked about squaring up to the pin and just making those sets more accurate.
And so Taylor Yu is the setter right now. Again, Stanford running a 6-2. But Logan Parks, who takes that swing, she will set when she's in the back row. She'll attack when she's in the front row.
That ball had pace, but died inside, and that plays into the middle block. Rebecca Alec getting out there and closing.
Taylor Sigler. Epar Kurt. Ouch, reaching back for it. Elia Rubin out of the back row, blocked by Alec. Danny Choboy, the bump set to Harper Murray. Yu goes with Kurt down the line.
Small window for Kurt to find there. It was a bit of a tight set, tracking towards the net, and she's able to thread this needle between the outside blocker's hands here, the right side, and that pin. Really nice job going around the block there.
Epar Kurt was an All-ACC second-team selection last year, 3.28 kills per set. And Allie Check is the transfer from Baylor.
One of the benefits of having a left-handed player as your opposite attacker, they're able to get on the ball so quick. And Allie Check has a heavy arm.
Are you surprised she had a check tonight as compared to Adriano on the right side who we saw on Friday?
We've seen them go back and forth, and both are very talented. Maybe they're looking at different matchups tonight, and maybe we'll see both.
Yeah, we just saw Allie Check for only one set against Pitt on Friday, but in 3 seasons at Baylor, guys, she was an All-Big 12 second-team selection 2 times. Here's Lainey Choboy. Kurt, off the block. Harper Murray is rejected. Logan Parks getting in there, the freshman?
Logan Parks and Lizzie Andrew, the sophomore middle blocker, number 11, who's very long, but Logan Parks gets up, sets that up. Left hand, beautiful stop by Stanford, trying to create some momentum on their side of the net.
So you just saw Logan Parks in the front row. Now she rotates to the back row. She will be the setter now.
Harper Murray got another shot. And you know Logan Parks wants that one back because she was in prime position to make that dig. Just kind of sprayed it a little bit and didn't handle it as best as she could.
Setting up Kurt and swipes it off the block.
Nice job just finding hands.
Yeah, definitely. We saw her do it that a couple times. That's something that she learned on the job last season. Learned how to be creative, find different ways to score.
Chilboy with a beautiful pass, and Harper Murray just crushed it.
I love this hold by Bergen Riley. She's able to jump set. She's got Andy Jackson going behind on a slide, so you got to honor that. But the middle jumps with Bergen Riley in the middle, and that allows Harper Murray to get a one-on-one situation and smash cross-court angle.
And as a setter, you'd love to get your hitters one-on-one.
There's no better feeling.
Oh, one-on-one.
There's also no worse feeling when you get a one-on-none or one-on-one and they don't get a kill.
Yeah. Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah. Holly probably didn't have to deal with that as much as I did.
Lizzie Andrew rotates back to serve. She spent this summer one gold with the U21 team at the Pan Am Cup.
Oh my gosh. Harper Murray just covered her eyes, and I think everybody in the arena did because that is insane.
Andy Jackson comes from behind. She can go wide, she can go right behind. And look at the stress on the block. She attacks the gap between the two blockers. She chooses that.
Taylor Landfair saved that with one hand. Mouth got underneath it. I think she dug it with her face. Chicken wing from Rebecca Alec. Net violation, Nebraska.
Stanford starting to make plays and compete with this Nebraska team.
I've not seen panic on the Stanford side, just trying to figure it out. And I mean, this system they're running is really unique, too.
It is, and 3 freshmen in the lineup on this stage, your second match of the season, it's tough. It's a big ask.
Your second match of the season, and you're playing the preseason #1 team in the nation.
Yes, it's a tall task to begin with, but you're learning a lot, not only about yourself as a player, but about your new teammates in the heat of battle, right? It's one thing to go through 15 preseason practices and preseason camp. It's another to come out and face one of the best teams in the country in Nebraska in front of 15,000 fans. So this is a great learning opportunity and experience for everybody on the court.
Taylor Yu back to Elia Rubin. This time fully swings. Landfair. On the ankle.
Taylor Landfair takes a really smart swing. The freshman middle blocker for Stanford does not get out there in time because of the speed of the set. You see her pull out of it because she couldn't close, and Landfair takes advantage.
Last year we saw Taylor Landfair fall back in love with the sport of volleyball. I think she had lost it a little bit at Minnesota, but found it once again.
There's no sneaking the ball low by the block. You got to attack the Nebraska block high and use the outsides of it.
Oh, what a take from Bergen Riley. I mean, Elia Rubin just fired that ball at her.
Sometimes you just got to put your body in front of it and hope for the best. That's what Bergen Riley did. A great job by Rubin going back and taking another massive swing on the second set to get a kill.
How big is the load that Elia Rubin is carrying, leadership and production-wise?
Pretty big. I mean, she's the vocal leader. She's always been a vocal player on this team. But emotionally, she's the player who's been in these type of big matches.
I think it's also huge because she's used to hitting Cami Minor, who is one of the best setters in the country, and now you're having to create new relationships with two different setters.
Yeah, Cami Minor, an All-American, multi-time All-American setter who graduated. Nebraska is the first to 10. They're up 10-6 here in set 2. Well, in that last timeout, Kevin Hambley talking to his team. Madison, what did you hear from the Stanford side?
Well, it was mostly Elia Rubin saying, right now we're playing like next play. Right after the play ends, we're just rushing to the next one. She said you need to tune out the noise, take a breath, and don't feel as rushed. So we are seeing the effects of the home court advantage for Nebraska.
And Madison, we were just talking about that over here. Nebraska has you on your heels.
Nebraska's relentless on both sides of the ball. You cannot relax. You think you're ahead in the play, but Nebraska puts the pressure right back on you.
You feel like you're constantly under attack from their attackers offensively, but then they make it so difficult to score. So you have to swing 2, 3, 4 times just to score a point against their defense.
And a rare misconnection between Bergen Riley and her middle. Kelly check. What a bright spot today for Nebraska.
We haven't even talked about Lainey Choboy yet this afternoon, who took over for Lexi Rodriguez, multiple All-American, fantastic libero for 4 last years at Nebraska. Lainey Choboy has been fantastic in serve receive and in defense today.
And Stanford calls their only timeout of this set. They're doing some experimental rules at the AVCA first serve this weekend. Only 1 timeout per set.
Stanford is obviously a premier program in the country and has been for quite some time. A lot of these freshmen on this team, Holly, are 5-star recruits. I think this is probably going to be an eye-opening experience for them. They'll get to this level that we see Nebraska currently playing at, but this is the standard. If you want to win a national championship, you're going to look like this kind of team, a well-oiled machine. The maturity, the experience you see is oozing out from Nebraska. I think if you talk to these freshmen post-game, this is the level they want to get to in their career at Stanford eventually.
And how fantastic to get it at the beginning of the season. Set the bar high and then aim for it. You know what it feels like. You know what it looks like. Stanford has scored 0 points off their last 12 serves because Nebraska is siding out at such a high clip.
A 6-1 run for Nebraska. They ran away with the first set, 25-13. Harper Murray will take it. Nice save by Elia Rubin. Ipar Kurt did not get the touch, and Kurt is looking at Kevin Hambley, who wants to challenge this mate. I think every signal that we have went for a green card, which we're not using, then did the monitor signal, and then threw up a C with his hand. So
he's like, what is it this week?
All of the things, yeah. This weekend they have tablets on the benches where they signal in that they want to make a challenge. So they're looking for a touch on this ball. And there's one.
Yes, got it.
Katie, did you see that?
I see it, loud and clear. Index finger of the inside hand.
And Ipar Kurt turning a tough swing into a point.
And that's when, as a player, you appreciate that your head coach listens to you, goes to bat, trusts you to challenge them.
Etzler. Dug up by Choboy. I mean, just beautiful, right on Bergen's head.
Perfect. Perfect pass, gives you all 3 options, 4 options, with Ziegler in the backcourt. Textbook play.
Yeah, the only hope to get Nebraska out of the system is to have Bergen Riley on the run, sprinting to get to balls to put up a ball. Because if the ball's right in her hand, she's going to locate that ball perfectly from the hitters.
As Andrew takes the swing, Choboy will step in to bump set Harper Murray. You out to Kurt, busting up that Nebraska block.
So if you want to get Nebraska out of system, who are you keying in on? Are you keeping the ball away from Lainey Choboy or trying to go after a true freshman in Ziegler? test Harper Murray on the outside?
Probably at the freshman, but you've got to put some pace on it, and you got to go to space, so they have to move to get their platform on the ball.
There we go.
Pace to space.
Right on cue, Hall.
Logan Parks putting some heat on this top spin jump serve. Right between the two passers, and that creates the overpass opportunity for Lizzie Andrew.
Another overpass, too. Great digs. Rubin rolls, shot, snuck it in.
Elia Rubin, we don't see her hit a lot of D balls, but that time going behind to attack from the right side and had the Midas touch, dropping right in the middle of the court.
And now a 3-0 run for Stanford. With the freshman Logan Parks serving. Kelly check to the middle of the court. Pretty.
Serve, catching the take, dropping. Harper Murray flies under that ball. And perfect pass to Bergen Riley's hands where she's able to go back.
The perfect pass drops right in front of her. Great tempo from Bergen Riley and just such smart placement by Czech, because she knew she had two blockers right in front of her with Harper Murray on the ground.
Tempo getting better for Stanford. That time they caught Harper Murray, the left side blocker, by surprise. She wasn't able to get off the floor and block that. Kurt able to score for Stanford.
I think Ipar Kurt has been so huge for Stanford today, trying to keep them on track.
Yeah, she's hitting .308, 6 kills on 13 attempts. She's been efficient.
And then Andy Jackson flies out of the rafters.
Elia Rubin is an elite blocker for Stanford on the left side. She is there, lined up. She knows what she wants to do. And Andy Jackson just goes up and drills it hard. Kevin Hamley looked at Elia Rubin like, press, get on that press sooner.
Andy Jackson is hitting 800.
4 for 5. Yep.
I would give it to her again, too.
6 for 7.
Lizzie Andrew needs to use her length. She can't tip it around against Nebraska. She's got to go up and strike it. We saw her do it Friday. She's got the range to hurt Nebraska if she hits the ball.
I love the movement, though. You can bring her on a 6 or an A, whatever you want to call it, right on the back of Bergen Riley, close proximity, or you can send her all the way out to the antenna on a slide. She's got great range across the net.
Coming right back to the Nebraska side. And Elia Rubin just had one blocker in front of her.
I like it. Pace out to the left side where Elia Rubin's isolated one-on-one versus Bergen Riley. Advantage Rubin in that situation.
The connection between Parks and Rubin has trended better here in set 2, and I have to credit, Rubin is constantly talking to Parks, communicating with her in between plays to tell her what she needs and where she wants it.
I was going to say, I just saw her turn to Logan Parks, and more communication, more talking about where that set is.
Elia Rubin stays aggressive. That ball's kind of in the middle of the court, but Andy Jackson makes an incredible block move in the middle of the court.
Andy Jackson was named MVP of the first match versus Pitt. She's just bringing all of that momentum into this match. And when she was interviewed after that match, 10 kills, 8 blocks, she gave credit all to her team, saying iron sharpens iron in the gym, and that's what we were prepared today. But a very selfless, humble player to be that good.
Yeah, and Mads, I think it was impressive too. She was voted as a captain by her team this year. So it's Andy Jackson, Rebecca Alec, and Bergen Riley who are this year's captains, and that says a lot. Service error makes it 18-13. Nebraska came out cruising in the first set. They hit 520. Here in this set, they're hitting 423 and another big lead. Parks trying to attack out of the middle. That is hard to do against these Cornhusker middles.
Stanford tried to run a 2 to isolate the middle blocker, but look at the eye work, right? Rebecca Alec, number 5 in white, reads the hitter in the direction and takes it away from her.
Landfair stopped Erica Sayer.
Erica Sayers come into the match in the second set and made 2 big plays. Just crushed the ball angle and a big stop right there. Love the left hand cutting off that angle of Landfair.
Erica Sayer out of Colorado. Was a captain of her team in high school, state champion. Oh my goodness.
This is what happens when you have active middles who are constantly an offensive threat. When you have a Becca Alec, when you have an Andy Jackson, blockers have to honor them and respect them, and so they jump with them, which then gives you a one-on-none situation, which is the best feeling in the world. What a swing by Czech, straight down the line, easy kill. Nebraska's rolling.
When we can have a championship feeling now. 15,000 watching volleyball here in Lincoln. Nebraska got it over. Wow. Erica Sayer terminated. That is big.
Love the hustle on defense by Nebraska, but Erica Sayer, the freshman middle blocker, staying aggressive, hitting that ball. I like it. I want to see that from Lizzie Andrew in the middle.
Yeah, Sayer's been a bright spot, especially in that last 3 rotations that we saw in the front court. You hope that Lizzie Andrew can pick up right where Sayer left off and continue to be a threat out of the middle zone.
Well, she's stepping into the role that Sammy Francis left, who was a star for the Stanford team. She graduated. You can see why Kevin Hambley is so high on Erica Sayer. I mean, that is her 6th kill now in this set. She's hitting over 600.
And that was a trouble situation. Came across her left shoulder. She had to go up and get that with her right hand, and she's the left-handed player.
Nebraska has controlled this entire match. They won the first set 25-13. Logan Parks let it sail.
Missed opportunity for Stanford. Lizzie Andrew took a rip. They had an opportunity. Stanford ahead in the play, and then overpass hit out.
Rubin takes the pass. Parker.
The tempo of Stanford's offense definitely better. Zipping that out to the left side, giving the hitters a chance to take a good rip. Parker, the beneficiary of this quick ball, and then just attacking the corner.
And Parker, she's currently leading the corner. I mean, she's got 7 kills so far, hitting .333 on the afternoon. Keep feeding her.
If you're on the Nebraska side, keep feeding Allie Czech.
My goodness, what a second set she's had.
That's 7 kills in the second set.
8 kills on 12 swings, hitting .667. Allie Czech, the transfer from Baylor.
What a luxury if you're Bergen Riley, right? To have so many weapons across the front row, also an outlet usually in the backcourt. Be a lot of fun deciding who to set when with that kind of roster.
And she looks like she's having a lot of fun. It is set point Nebraska. So does Danny Busboom-Kelly, a smile on her face. Jordan Harvey swinging on the left side. And second set point on the way for Nebraska.
Another good kill from Stanford on the left side. That's been their best offensive play. And then the Erica Sayer quick ball in the middle.
That's Nebraska's point. They win the set. Nebraska leads this match 2-0. This is a play they could challenge.
I think the Stanford players thought that Nebraska was in the net on that block.
I would have to agree.
I like when we're on the same page. Well, the Stanford team was chasing their coach down who was having a sip of water. He was like, all right, challenge, please.
I think he just went like this. He just did a...
He's just making motions over there. He's just making all kinds of motions.
So it was originally called a point for Nebraska.
I thought Annie Jackson live really went for that block. She reached for it.
And they're going to overturn this call. It's a point for Stanford. Yep. Annie Jackson's arm in the net. Hey, redemption for you.
Redemption,
I'm proud of
thank you so much. Give me time. I'll lose it. I'll lose the thread.
Holly knew right away.
Nebraska right now stacked on the left side of the court.
She's like, stop your nonsense, you two.
Rubin going after it.
Great communication there.
Elliot Rubin pounds it off the block. Here comes Stanford.
Spencer Etzler, the freshman libero for Stanford, made some big plays. That ball just wide and Stanford on a little roll.
It's a 3-0 little roll for Stanford.
They'll take it.
Goes to Nebraska.
But you hope the momentum that Stanford got just there with that three-point run carries over into set 3. Maybe they start finding their rhythm, a little bit of confidence when they come out of the break.
Nebraska hitting 474 in this match. They are a one-set win away from their second win of the season. And Danny Busboom-Kelly is with Madison.
Coach, saw a couple smiles from you over there on the sidelines. What do you like about the energy your team brought in those first 2 sets?
Well, we played with a ton of confidence and we're going for it, and there were some pretty impressive plays.
My jaw dropped a couple times.
They're trusting it, and I love the way Bergen's running the offense. Everybody's getting involved and putting our hitters in amazing positions.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
And Nebraska looks balanced. They look like the #1 team in the nation. They lead this match 2-0. Set 3 on the way.
Interesting during the break in our studio shows, talking, the 3 of us over here said, I wonder if Kevin Hambley will make a change with his system, and he just wants to get more offense out of his group, so go to 1 setter so you can work on that connection with all of your hitters as compared to trying 2 setters out. I'm very curious to see how they respond flipping and making this change.
I think the 5-1, Jordan Harvey can attack out of the back row and take some pressure off the 2-hitter offense, and maybe just 1 setter find the flow of the offense and be able to connect better.
So there is Taylor Yu, number 30 in that black jersey. She will be the main setter now for Stanford as they move to the 5-1. They have to win this set to extend the match. Allie checked just a bit long. Man, did she have a heck of a second set.
Is that her first error of the game? She had 7 kills, 0 errors in set 2.
Yes, it is.
Somewhat of a surprise.
Ball set a little bit low to Rebecca Alec. Right side blocker Jordan Harvey helping on that gap set.
Stanford trying to carry over a little bit of the momentum they built at the end of that second set, even though they lost it. Went on a bit of a run when Nebraska had set point. Kirk coming in. Yu goes backside to Jordan Harvey. Lady Chillboy diving. Back-to-back for Choboy. Harper Murray offhand. Stanford's got it though. And a check will tool the block. Scrappy rally.
Yeah, and Kevin Hambley, even though Stanford didn't win that point, very happy with just the consistency in the rally, the defensive play that we saw from Stanford. That was a great point by both sides. And it was really funny, both of the towel kids ran onto the court 2 or 3 times thinking that that play was over before it was actually done. That's how many crazy plays
They have names, Madison, they have names. I like the towel kids. They're just trying to do their job, okay?
Well, Harper Murray thought the play was dead. She thought she got a kill, and she was surprised when she popped back up. So the towel kids aren't alone.
Goes to Jordan Harvey swinging on the left side. Sigler with the dig. Harper Murray with the swing. And Jordan Harvey looking for a hand. She won't get it.
Great range from Terea Sigler there. Lainey Choboy runs in. She thinks it's going to be a roll shot. The ball goes over her head. And Sigler, who's a middle back, makes such a great play to get behind her to keep that ball alive.
Ooh. Molly, did you see a little touch there? A little pinky?
I did. No challenge.
Lizzie Andrew with a good swing, but Bergen Riley with a better dig. And Harper Murray terminates. She's got 8 kills.
Nebraska's defense is forcing Lizzie Andrew to go at Bergen Riley, and Bergen Riley's holding her own in that right back defensive spot. Even though Lizzie Andrews putting a little pop on it, she's got to turn it away from Riley with heat.
That's what separates Bergen Riley from other setters in the country. She's not just a great setter in her role. She's a great defender, she's a great blocker, a good server. She's an all-around volleyball player.
And that swing and kill from Lizzie Andrew ends a 4-0 Nebraska run.
And that's something Lizzie Andrew does really well, going behind the setter in the 5-1. Good pass here by Ipar Kurt, and then isolate one-on-one, big gap.
And Lindsay Andrew has such room for growth. They're so excited about her potential. Just a sophomore, she didn't play club at a high level, came in with a raw skill set, and Kevin Hamley has talked for the last 2 years about how excited he is to continue to develop her.
Stanford missed opportunity there. Setting the ball too tight against this Nebraska block in transition is trouble.
And Nebraska's got 7 blocks today. You had to set that with one hand. Rubin gets the touch.
And a much better job there by Spencer Etzler in the libero jersey for Stanford. She set that ball, last play too tight to the net. She said, my bad, I got to bring that off the net. There she gets another opportunity to go to Rubin on the left side. She brings it off, allows Rubin to go take a high swing off the hand.
And Kevin Hambley talked to us about this weekend. He said, there's a couple of things I'm looking for. How does my team compete? How do they quickly find their identity? And you can prep for this environment, but how do you respond to it? How do you battle through adversity? So he's looking at all those things to learn this young team this weekend.
You know, they played the second match on Friday night, so a lot of the Nebraska fans had already filtered out of the arena, and so, you know, when the girls came into the arena, they're like, wow, there's 15,000 fans, this seems like an incredible atmosphere. Well, then it kind of, you know, changed by the time that Florida and Stanford kicked off, and Stanford said, you know, gosh, we wish more people were in the stands, and Kevin Hambley said, careful what you wish for, because there'll be 15,000 fans going against you on Sunday.
Taylor, you and Elia Rubin talking about the pace of that set. Elia Rubin likes it fast out there. She can get on top of it quickly.
Taylor Landfair. You goes back to Harvey. Second time works.
Stanford's doing a better job being patient and getting their opportunities, extending the rally.
Stanford, though, trying to climb out of hitting negative in this set. And the service error doesn't help that momentum, that little momentum they had grabbed. Oh, that's a block by Bergen Riley.
That time they got the ball out to Ruben fast on the left side for Stanford, but Bergen Riley, a strong right side blocker, gets there, and look at the handwork. Right hand turning the ball back into the court on the opponent's side of the net.
That one long from Andy Jackson. Really, the offenses on both sides have gone a little quiet in this set. Nebraska's hitting 0, Stanford's hitting in the negative. Kurt with the tip, Mount there to dig it. Harper Murray back row. Oh, she got it in the corner.
Transition attack by Harper Murray out of the back row in a quick tempo. She's so dynamic. Look at the location of where she puts that ball. I love it. That's a smart heads up transition kill.
And Nebraska leads it 10-6 here in set 3.
Cannot wait.
That is going to be a lot of fun. Courtney Lyle, Holly McPeak, Katie George, and Madison Fitzpatrick with you from Lincoln.
In the Stanford huddle, Kevin Hamlin said, listen, they aren't scoring like they were before, so that's good. And own that roll shot. They're kind of rolling a little bit more, so make sure to keep getting those up. And then he said, if you are going to tip, be smart. Let's use the blocker's arms. Let's be crafty.
Yeah, you would definitely tell a difference in this set, Madison, from the offenses. Nebraska was just dominant in the first 2 sets, and now both teams trying to find that rhythm offensively.
Nebraska's barely hitting over 0. They're 0-62 for this set, while Nebraska's actually hitting in the negatives.
Toria Sigler. Harper Murray saved it out of the net and then gets ready to swing at it.
Nice recovery by Choboy.
Remember, to start this set, Stanford flipped to a 5-1. They were running a 6-2, meaning using 2 setters, but they wanted to try to get some more offensive consistency, so just using Taylor Yu in the setting position.
Taylor Yu is in the front row right now, but they've got Jordan Harvey available out of the back row as an option.
Like that. Dug by Choboy. Allie check soars in. Great hustle from Etzler, the freshman libero. Rebecca Allen just wanted the volleyball.
Love it. Great in-system pass by Choboy. You've got all your options at your disposal, and she goes with a quick back set to Rebecca Allen. So quick, great tempo, really hard to stop.
Choboy free ball right to Bergen Riley, and then Rebecca Alec quick on the back one.
Now Kurt looking for the back corner. Just long, you know, Denny Busby told this team when the preseason ranking came out at #1. She said, look, I have a vote. I voted for us too. That doesn't mean that we're going to be the #1 team at the end of the year. But her goal coming in is I want to max out every player's abilities this season. She wants to get the most out of all of them.
One of the things I'm noticing is the middles driving in transition on Nebraska. I don't know if I can hear Jalen Ray's the assistant coach for Nebraska yelling, but talking about to the middles, get up in transition. You can see the footwork.
Well, we're very excited about this. The all-new ESPN app is the best way to watch sports. All of ESPN, all in one place with live games, live stats. Plus, you can track your fantasy teams and personalize with your favorite leagues, teams, and players. It was interesting hearing the changes from the Nebraska players that Danny has brought. One of them was, wow, we scrimmage a lot more. We play a lot more live volleyball, and that's something that she did at Louisville. I think the players like it.
Definitely. I mean, anytime you can compete, that's how you get better, and you get to practice against the best team in the country on the other side of the net at Nebraska practice.
Danny Buscom-Kelly also mixes in her rotations in practice, so it's not just A side versus B side. She moves Harper Murray back and forth to play with a variety of different lineups, and she said, Harper, whoever you're playing with, you need to win. You need to elevate their level of play, and that's really added to the maturation of Harper Murray.
I love that. Madison told you earlier their theme this year, a banner, not a name. Focus on team success over individual accolades. And Julia Blavshaw is in the front row for Stanford. First time we're seeing her in this match. Allie Check makes it a 6-0 run, Nebraska.
Allie Check's looking like a fantastic addition in the offseason on the right side. She gets up to 9-8.
And the fast pace of that set to the lefty, it's really hard to defend.
We've mentioned it before, just because you're going fast doesn't mean you have to go low. You can still go fast and high to allow your hitter to go up and hit all the shots.
And she has done that. 11 kills, hitting .409. That ends a 6-0 run. Remember, Stanford must win this set to extend the match. Nebraska took control in set one, 25-13. Then won set two, 25-19. Was it Andrew dug up by Choboy? Alec, monster stop.
She's lethal when she attacks, but she's also so good at just throwing it down, Holly.
We talked about it. Nebraska is just relentless. Stanford's making plays, but then they have to keep responding, and that ball pops on top of the net, and Rebecca Alec just throws it down.
Rebecca Alec has talked about just being herself this year. She's one of the captains. She's loving this. She's loving the sport that she's playing. And she said, you know what? When Danny was hired, my mom loved Danny Busboom-Kelly, so I love Danny Busboom-Kelly. She was all in.
That's awesome.
Julia Blavshaw working on the inside of the block. Nice kill on the right side for Stanford.
She got the start in the outside hitter position for Stanford on Friday. 5 kills. Only saw her in 3 of the 4 sets they played. But hit 0.
No touch there. Harper Murray going for flat, high hands and misses that one long.
You know, even with Danny taking over this program, the staff remained intact. How important do you think that has been for this Nebraska program to have a new head coach, but to have the same staff members around that new head coach?
Well, Danny Busboom-Kelly told us, I could not have done this without my staff. Moving here to Nebraska, Jalen Reyes, Kelly Hunter, I mean, they've been here, they know what it takes. Danny Busboom-Kelly had a baby 3 months ago. So there's times when she can't make it to the gym and do all the things, and her supporting staff has been amazing.
I think it also adds a level of comfort for the players as you transition to a new head coach. There's familiarity with the other 3 members of the staff. Danny Busboom-Kelly did say that her staff needs to brush up on some movie quotes. She's dry, she's sarcastic. In team huddles, they don't always know that she's joking. She's like, guys, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Just deadpan faces. So they're working on their sense of humor.
I was interested to see, too, yesterday we got to watch their practice, and Jalen Reyes, who has been a longtime assistant coach here, he's actually the one that stands up on the bench and walks around and talks. He's the vocal leader of the coaches, is what Danny called it.
Yes.
He's still having that major role in their practices. There's Jalen Reyes.
He's sometimes more fun, I think, to watch on the sidelines than what's happening on the court because he's so active and energetic. He's got to be happy with Nebraska's play this afternoon.
Jalen Reyes telling his blockers the tendency of the hitter so they can get locked in on the defensive strategy.
He's also the recruiting coordinator. Harper Murray with the one-handed save. Sigler goes diving into the front row. Everybody's okay.
They're going to replay that because unfortunately the cameraman put his hand up in the air and stopped her.
Well, he could have saved her from a serious injury, so I'll take the replay.
Cameraman checked on Sigler.
And how about
She
the
checked
hustle
on
by
him.
Sigler?
Great rundown.
Malk got underneath it. Olivia Malk. And then Sayer finding that back corner.
I love the gap set to Sayer. She has been unafraid to take big swings. We've seen her go wrist away, that time cross body, attacking deep to that right back part of the court.
I can't wait just to see how she grows this season and then ultimately throughout the course of her career.
Andy Jackson trying to do some work with that a little bit too long on the ankle.
A little bit too low and inside on that set. When it's not there and it's not an opportune moment to go try to take a swing, you just want to recycle it, tip the ball over, give yourself another chance.
Terea Sigler gets a kill. She was the two-time Gatorade Arizona Player of the Year. Also, last year, remember the U21 national team, and some recruiting outlets had her as the #1 player in this year's recruiting class. And Danny told us she is really high on Terea.
Terea Sigler is a 6th rotation player, but high volleyball IQ, doesn't want to just hit the ball hard, takes the smart swings in the appropriate situations.
Well, tonight's Sunday Night Baseball matchup, arguably the best rivalry in baseball. The Red Sox going for a 4-game sweep of the Yankees, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN. ESPN Deportes and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at a special time of 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific with baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown. Well, Nebraska, the preseason #1 team in the nation. They look like the #1 team in the nation. At the top of the stat sheet right now for the Cornhuskers, Ali Check, the transfer from Baylor, making a huge impact right now for Nebraska.
Part of the strategy has been to go to Ali Check on that right side often. She's got 24 sets, has been unstoppable, 11 kills on 24 swings. Big block, digging some balls. She's been really impressive.
You know Bergen Riley loves setting Harper Murray. Harper Murray has been set 25 times in 3 sets. The fact that Ali Check has been set 24, I think shows that Bergen's got a lot of trust in the newcomer and this new piece that's been added to Nebraska's offense.
And spreading the offense left and right pin is going to really help them.
And then just looking too at what they're getting in the middle. 8 kills from Rebecca Allen, 5 kills from Andy Jackson. I mean, the balance is crazy.
It is.
Stanford hitting 0 in this set. Nebraska for the match is hitting 367. 300 and better is great. Maisie Bosiger is going to sub in to serve for Nebraska. And how cool, you hear the Cornhusker fans cheering for Bosiger. Rebecca Allen on the slide.
Watch Rebecca Allen drive with her approach, get herself in a position to get that set in transition.
And then she's just on cleanup duty.
Maisie Bosiger comes in to serve. Back-to-back points for Nebraska.
And Stanford is going to challenge a net violation. They want to see if Nebraska was in the net.
With 5 blocks.
Who are you guys talking about over there?
Sorry. We're just having a little conference over here.
This is how the sausage is made. They're asking us who we think MVP should be, and there's too many options on Nebraska's team.
We don't know what to do.
Were you talking about Rebecca Allen?
We were. She has a full stat line. I mean, 10 kills, 14 swings, 5 blocks.
You could make a case. You could make a case for MVP. Harper Murray, of course. Ali Check on the right side has the highest hitting percentage. You could also say Rebecca Alec because of the blocks and the defensive performance that she's put together.
And how about Bergen Riley?
I know. Come on, setters. They're looking for a net touch.
Kevin Hamblin just wanted to slow down play, let's be honest.
Yeah, they only get, this weekend, they only get 1 timeout in a set. Normally it's 2, but Nebraska 3 points away from winning this match. And that goes out. I want to ask you, Danny Busboom-Kelly, we talked about it at the beginning of this match. She said going back and watching Nebraska the last few years, she felt like Bergen Riley got tentative, slowed down, wants her to play free. Are you seeing glimpses of that?
Of her slowing down?
No, playing free.
Yes, free and zipping the ball out. I think this coaching staff will remind her to keep pushing that pace and use the athleticism of the teammates around her.
Whoa, good save. To the floor, Erica Sayer. She has been a bright spot.
Yes, impressive play by Stanford. Some good digs, and then Sayer in transition in the middle. We talked about the youth of Stanford. They've been impressive. The libero, Sayer,
and you can tell as well. They're only going to get better and better the more reps and the more matches they are able to play together.
Point Nebraska. Blattshaw. Bergen Riley back to Ali Check. Off hands. And Nebraska starts 2-0. They've won 7 straight sets against Stanford. They end this match on a 6-1 run.
There's a lot to like about the way Nebraska played this afternoon. There are no holes in this roster. Defense was fantastic at the net in the backcourt. You have a slew of options and offensive weapons anywhere on this court. So impressed with this team. The freshman talent as well as the transfer talent this team added in the offseason.
I mean, how do you get better if you're Nebraska? There's a long season ahead, and this is match number 2.
Wow.
Danny Busboom-Kelly said, look, we have a lot of areas we want to grow and improve on, but I like our execution, and I think she'll be happy with tonight.
No doubt.
And I think a bright spot, too, we learned a little bit more about Ali Check and how she can impact this Nebraska team.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Virginia Adriano on Friday night. She was a great weapon on that right side pin. We got to see more of Ali Check today. Both are fantastic options, but Ali Check was lights out from the right side.
She certainly was. Impressive offensive performance, and Bergen Riley knows her window. They have a good connection.
So who do you think would be the MVP?
Got to go to the middle, right?
Yes, ma'am, Rebecca Allen.
For Stanford, so much talent. We're going to see the Stanford team grow a lot this season.
I think they, of the 4 teams we saw here today, Stanford's got the most potential to grow because they're so young.
And Rebecca Allen, the MVP of this match. 11 kills. She hit 605 blocks for Rebecca Alec, one of the captains for Nebraska. Nebraska, the preseason #1 team in the nation. First weekend, you get a win over #3 Pitt and then #6 Stanford. Not a bad way to start the season.
I think there's high expectations on this team. They've fallen short, and they want to be better, and you can see one another.
It was a lot of fun to watch. Rebecca Alec is with Madison.
All right, Rebecca, when trying to decide an MVP for this match, it was near impossible because of the depth and the balance. What can you say about that portion of your team?
It's exactly that. Our freaking team is incredible. Everyone is so talented. Honestly, it just comes down to who our opponent is on set. So everyone on our team can detonate.
How good does it feel to start the season 2-0, and how much confidence does that give you moving forward?
Really good, and I like how we had some things change, and we still kept that momentum going forward, so I feel really good.
Congrats on a great weekend.
Thank you.
Courtney.
A sweep for Nebraska over #6 Stanford. Rebecca Alec, the MVP of the match. What a fun day, guys.
Really fun. I love college volleyball season.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible to start out with a 5-setter between Florida and Pitt. That game got so good at the end in set 4 and set 5. And then, unfortunately for Stanford, they just ran into a buzzsaw that was Nebraska. I mean, what a complete game from the Cornhuskers today.
Yeah, and this whole event, the ABCA First Serve, has been incredible this week. And this is day 3 here in Lincoln. And the crowds, the atmosphere, I mean, this is kick off the volleyball season.
You started this day saying there's no place like Nebraska for volleyball.